and welcome to the Culinary Journey. Normally, this week we would be doing the design show, but we had a special request to show some St. Patty's Day cocktails and beer. So we have Tony Corbett back from Macadoodles.
Second time.
He's going to walk us through, but very quickly, you can't drink without some snacks. So I do have a Reuben dip, sauerkraut, cheeses, a little bit of mayonnaise, Russian dressing, and rye crackers for it. And then I have a little rye with cucumber and a little dill with a dressing. And cookies, of course. You got to have cookies.
Got to have cookies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take it away.
It's great to be back.
Good. We're happy to have you back.
Yeah, thanks. So I think St. Patrick's Day is the 17th, right?
Yes.
Which is next week. So shop while you can.
Yeah, I heard actually one of our young men here said he went and got some beer, went back to get more, and it was
more, yeah.
out.
It'll be, we'll get more deliveries in. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to showcase a few things here today, and everything you see here is available at Macadoodles, as you might know, with one exception I'll talk about. But the first thing I wanted to do is talk about beer, because St. Patrick's Day is a big beer festival.
Yes.
And, people, like to drink their beers.
They do.
Well, what's unique about St. Patrick's Day, there is some unique Irish beers, of course, which I'm going to show over here. And everybody knows Guinness, of course,
Yeah.
right here. And I didn't bring it with me because it's in a large case, but for those people who like draft Guinness, there's actually a Guinness in a can that has a CO2 cartridge in it. Oh. And when you pop it, the CO2 releases and you can actually create a true draft Guinness.
Like a little keg or something?
Yeah, well, it's a mini keg.
Oh, wow.
And they're available at the store, and that gives you the true Guinness draft that you can get in the pubs.
The real experience.
The real experience.
Good.
But if not, we've got several, and they're on sale, of course, we also have some traditional ales, like this one. It's a cream ale. Irish beers are a lot creamier, they're more traditional. This is some American-inspired Irish beers as well. This one here is by Boulevard out of Kansas City, Missouri. This is a traditional Irish ale, or a bitter, if they like to call it in Ireland.
Okay.
Whereas the Guinness is more of a stout. And this is a cream stout right here, which is almost like a Guinness, but a little richer and more creamy. So beers are very popular. Well, one thing that people like to do is make green beer.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to show you how to make some green beer really easy. Now, a lot of people use food coloring for green beer, which you can get at the store.
Right.
Well, I didn't have any of that with me today because I have a better idea for those people interested. You can actually make your own green beer with several different things. And I brought with me here today traditional schnapps, which is this is melon. You can get apple as well. So this will actually give you beer a little extra flavor.
Yeah.
So you can do that, and we'll do one here in a second. But the other one I brought with me is Midori. I don't know if anybody knows what the Midori is. It's a melon liqueur. And this actually is my favorite for making a green beer. And what I've got here is just some traditional beers. You don't need anything fancy, so you can take your regular beer, whatever it might be. This is natural light, light beer, Coors, whatever. And so we'll use some Midori here. And you can just make your green beer as light or as dark as you want. We're going to load it up right there. That's the Midori. I don't know. Did it turn out pretty good?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. And this one here would be the De Kuyper. We'll put it in this glass right here. And some lucky fellow can try this at the end. This one's going to be a little darker, and that'll give a melon flavor. So that's how you can make your green beers.
So you don't have to buy a craft beer with flavoring in it.
No.
You just
if you've got some of this
flavored
line,
liqueur.
yeah, any of those, and if you've got some at home, that's how you can do it. And
Nice.
make your green beer that way. And if you have some green food coloring, you can do the same thing. I wouldn't recommend the gel type coloring. That'll kind of coagulate a little bit. So get
Okay.
the traditional green coloring, food coloring, and you can make yourself a green beer.
Okay. And of course, in Chicago, they would dye the river green. They didn't need to. It was already green.
Yeah, whatever.
They wanted it brighter green.
Exactly, exactly. So that's a little bit on beers. There's a whole selection you can go for if you want to try some of the Irish beers. And, you're welcome to try those. So with that said, I'm going to move on to Irish whiskeys. And, Irish whiskeys are very popular today.
More so than some of our domestic.
Yeah. They've been very popular the last few years, and they're climbing in popularity.
Wow.
And a lot of them now are equivalent to Scotch. So Scotch whiskey and Irish whiskey are very similar. Of course, the Irish and the Scots are always arguing about who originally came up with the idea of making whiskey. So depending on where you go and who you talk to, if you're talking to a Scots person, they're going to argue in the Irish. It's one of those. We won't get into that. But Irish whiskeys are very popular. I brought some here with us today, and they're getting very adventurous. There's also top shelf Irish whiskeys, which is similar to single malt.
Okay.
But these are kind of interesting. First of all, I want to showcase this. This is a really unique item right here. This is called Five Farms, and it's actually a cream whiskey, and it's absolutely delicious. You can put it whiskey. It's made with real Irish cream.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Seriously. Look at that bottle. Isn't that fantastic?
So you don't need separate Irish cream.
No, that's the full Monty right there. So,
wow.
yeah, this is fabulous stuff, and you can get it at the store. It actually is. It says on the label, made with 90% real Irish cream.
So you could just drink it over ice?
You could just drink it over ice, which is similar to, of course, the famous Bailey's, right?
Yeah.
So
that's the other one I was
that's the other
thinking.
one, yeah. And Bailey's has lots of different flavors now. So you take a Bailey's over ice, same thing, right? And there's many flavors of Bailey's now, but this one here is just fabulous, and you can get that at the store. So
Guess we have to go shopping.
you gotta go shop.
I thought we had enough bourbons and whiskeys at home, but
No,
maybe not.
you never have
enough.
You never have enough.
In middle of April, we're actually going to go back to Kentucky to finish the bourbon trail. So I think we have 23 distilleries left.
There you
We've
go.
done 23.
So make yourself a list, right?
Yep.
Jameson is probably the most famous and well-known Irish whiskey. It's very popular today. It's probably our #1 seller. It also has multiple flavors. You can now get Jameson in orange and different flavors.
Yeah.
Like this one. Here's a new one coming out. This is called Proper 12 Irish whiskey, and Proper 12 now also do flavors as well. So you can now get Irish whiskeys in different flavors. This is particularly is apple right here.
I know you were talking about the Jameson and the flavors. We have a bottle of orange. Actually, a friend gave it to me. She didn't like it. And I didn't really care for it because I make my own orange bourbon.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just broil an orange cut up and then put it in a couple, like 2 cups of bourbon and
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
let it sit for a week or two.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
There's also some very unique ones as well. This is triple, they call it triple distilled, John Sullivan, fairly new. This one here is actually quite unique. It's called Shakey's Whip. And this is actually, yeah, seriously. And this one is actually made in Ireland, imported from Ireland. And it claims to be the original black whiskey and liqueur. So now I'm told it tastes like licorice, but I've never tried it.
So I've never heard of black whiskey.
Yeah, it's black whiskey. Yeah.
Wow. The original black whiskey and liqueur.
Who knows, right?
Yeah. Golly.
All right. This one at the front here is what we would consider to be top shelf. So this one here would be the equivalent of a Scotch whiskey.
Okay.
This very popular brand, Teeling. And so if you want to go more towards a single malt kind of thing with an Irish whiskey, you can do it with that particular label.
So where does Glenfiddich, however you pronounce-
Glenfiddich?
Yeah, where does Glenfiddich fit in this? Or
So-
is that Scotch and it's...
That's Scotch.
Okay.
Yeah, so Glenfiddich would be Scotch.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's more scotches, of course, than there are Irish whiskeys, but
Aren't there really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But this would be the equivalent of a Glenfiddich or a
Okay.
Glenmorangie or one of those.
Okay.
It's not blended, so it's high. It's top shelf. Yeah,
Woo.
there's a difference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the most popular drinks for using Irish whiskey for St. Patrick's Day is basically it's the same as a mule. It's like a
Okay.
Moscow mule, but it's an Irish mule if you like. And it's really straightforward. There's nothing complicated about it. And I don't have any ice with us, but that's okay. So you can use any type of whiskey, flavored whiskey if you like. But what you want to do is you just want to, get yourself 2 ounces or so, and hopefully we don't spill it here.
That's okay.
And of course, because it's Irish, you have to do that, right?
Of course you do. You don't even drink.
I don't even drink. That's right. And so you want your lime juice. I've got this lime juice, but also if you've got fresh limes, and then good quality ginger ale. On top of that, you can do it over ice or not, however you want to do it, and whatever your own strength is. So that basically is as simple as that.
That's pretty easy.
It's straightforward. Yeah. So somebody will have to try that afterwards and get rid. I don't want to throw that away. So if there's any volunteers.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be gone. That will not be a problem.
Yeah. I want to say something that's really unusual, and this is probably an acquired taste. We probably won't make it today, but for those people who really want to try something unusual, you get a champagne glass similar to this, and actually use Guinness and sparkling wine.
Okay, explain this one.
This is seriously Guinness and sparkling wine. So you fill the glass with about 2/3 or half of a stout, even a cream stout if you like, and literally put a prosecco on top of it or a sparkling wine.
Nice.
And it will dilute because stout has a very full-bodied beer.
Yeah.
And that will lighten it up, and it's actually really, really good.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've got some Prosecco at home. I'm going to try that.
Yeah, try that one out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean-
Exactly. And of course, you can't do St. Patrick's Day without Irish coffee, right?
You're absolutely right.
So people make Irish coffee with Bailey's, or they can make it with just the regular whiskey, and then you cream on top, right? So you put your coffee in your glass, you then put yourself a shot of your favorite whiskey on top, and then you cream on top of that.
Do you, you don't put the sugar cubes in?
Some people do,
Yeah.
or they can just put a spoonful of sugar. However, there's several recipes. The traditional one is in a tall glass, and they actually pour the cream over a spoon.
I have seen that.
You've seen that done?
Yes. Actually, it was this is unusual because it was in Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah.
There was a brewery and distillery all in one. And the last tasting that we got there, he took, I forget what it was, alcoholic drink, and then he took a spoon and turned it over and then put and it just floated on top.
It just floats on top, yeah. So you see, you get some heavy whipping cream. A lot of people use the spray can.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of, that's
It doesn't taste the same.
it's heathen.
You want the real deal.
Yeah, you want the real deal. So you turn a large spoon upside down on top of the coffee, and then you pour the cream over the spoon, and it cascades down, and it holds onto the top. And then it will slowly filter down on its own. And that's
Cool.
what you do, Irish coffee.
Well, when we lived just outside of San Francisco, we did go down to the Buena Vista, which they claim that's the first place Irish coffee was made. But he would just line them up, drop 2 sugar cubes in like each one,
Yep.
and then the whiskey, and then the coffee, and then have a real whipping cream.
Yeah.
He didn't get out a can.
Real whipping
And
cream.
it was really good. From that day forward, we really like Irish coffee.
And I just remembered the name of the stout with Prosecco or sparkling wine. They call it a black velvet.
Black Velvet? There's a Black Velvet whiskey or bourbon.
Yeah, it's a common name, but this particular,
Okay.
that's what they call it, stout with a sparkling wine,
That sounds interesting. I gotta try that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I'll have to pick up some stout though. I don't
Well,
I just have lager at home.
yeah, if you want to get stout, then probably the best. There's several Guinness. This is extra stout right here, but there's also the regular Guinness. Now, with the Guinness in the bottle, it's going to have some fizz to it when you pour it. Whereas if you get the draft Guinness in the can that I mentioned earlier with the CO2 cartridge, that'll be a true draft. So that's better for actually mixing, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Well, good to know. We may have to, we need to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue talking about all of these wonderful drinks.
Experience the Macadoodles difference. Shop leisurely in our friendly and spacious store 7 days a week. Browse our wine cellar. We offer the top labels and hot new wines. Wide aisles, hardwood floors, and easy-to-find, well-lit displays make shopping enjoyable. Customers are our #1 priority. If you can't find something, our courteous staff will assist you, and we'll even help you to your car with your purchase. World-class customer service. Largest and best selection in the area. Low prices. Experience the Macadoodles difference today.
We are here with Tony Corbett from Macadoodles, who actually is also today's sponsor, show sponsor.
That's right.
Yeah, they're great to have as a sponsor. And we're going to talk a little bit about the food that I brought, the first one being the Reuben dip. I mean, you can't have St. Patrick's Day and not have Reubens. So instead of making Reuben sandwiches, what I did was I found this recipe for a dip. And I use this book quite a bit. Very, very simple recipes. So this has 16 ounces of sauerkraut, 1 cup of shredded Swiss cheese, a cup of shredded sharp cheddar, and then a little bit of mayonnaise, Russian dressing, and, of course, 5 ounces of chopped corned beef from the deli, and served on rye crackers. And I'll tell you what, finding the right rye crackers was a little challenging. I went to a few different stores, but bless Whole Foods, they got everything. So that worked out really well. So that's your traditional, you think St. Patrick's Day Reuben sandwiches. I think it's the worst day of the year to order a Reuben because they're making so many of them that they're not the best. This other little appetizer that I have, I'm going to come down. Okay, this is rye with cucumber, but this is a snack rye bread, and then I have a dressing. It's cream cheese and a little bit of mayonnaise with Italian salad dressing mix, and then cucumber, and then a little piece of dill on top. So just to make sure that we don't over-imbibe on this wonderful day, we want to make sure we've got some goodies. And then my favorite sugar cookie recipe, which is satin sugar cookies. This is made with cream cheese and flour and
Cream cheese.
cream cheese.
Cream
So
cheese
the
and
flavor
flour.
in these is, but I did something different this time with my sugars. Like this little shamrock. This one actually has a rose sugar on it. And then my little chicks have a habanero sugar. My husband said it doesn't really, he didn't taste it, but I was like, I'll have to try one and see what I think.
See what you think.
Yeah, but there are so many different, I went online and looked at other different appetizers for St. Patrick's Day. There are many. I'm not a big fan of soda bread. There were a lot of potato things, and they even talked about potato soup, baked potato soup, which, I keep forgetting that potatoes, Ireland.
Yeah, it's pretty big in Ireland.
Yeah.
I also think cabbage.
Yes, corned beef and
Corned
cabbage.
beef and cabbage is
the
the big thing in Ireland at this time of year.
yeah. And I would do that, but somebody in the house wouldn't eat it. I'd have to have other people over. Or, again, do like I do here. Bring the food to the TV station or take it over to the driving range and serve it to everybody there. Which,
I think when I was growing up, it was ribs and cabbage.
really?
Yeah, I think.
Just short ribs or?
Yeah, I think. I can't
Wow.
remember exactly, but something like. I know it was all boiled. That's all I know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, being Polish and German, we would do kielbasa and sauerkraut.
Yeah, there you go.
And, so take your cabbage and cut it down, get it, well, it makes its own brine. You just cabbage and salt and massage it, let it sit, massage it until you get enough brine made just by the cabbage and salt. And you've got your own sauerkraut. And let me tell you, it's really good. For this, I did go to the store.
There you go.
I did not use my fermented sauerkraut.
Well, St. Patrick's Day is big for our stores in Macadoodles. Obviously, we have an Irish theme, and so all our stores throughout the country celebrate it in a big way. And so it's a big time of year for us. So
Well, I know when you walk in the store, I went in the other day and it's like, oh my gosh, big bourbon.
right at the front of the store.
Display and.
And what we try to do also is take the products, some of the products that we're showcasing here today, and put them on sale. Why not, right? So
Yeah.
what you can see down here, again, this is on sale. And there's other products you'll see at the front of the store. But, our stores will dress up, and I think one up in Springfield has a leprechaun that comes in. And
Oh my.
and if you're into the look of the Irish, you need to buy a lottery ticket, right,
Oh, okay.
on that day.
I did not know that, but I will do it.
We're going to take
knows?
this green beer and we're going to turn it up a notch. And as you'll see here, got my Macadoodle glass. So what we're going to do is we're going to spike this up for those people who are a little bit more adventurous, right?
Okay.
But don't mix the flavors too bad. You'll get a little, So again, what we're going to do is we're going to make that green beer. We're going to darken it up with a big splash of Midori. And then, of course, because you can now get flavors, okay, so it doesn't contrast too bad. And let me tell you, put some apple Proper 12 on top of that, and that's, you kick it up a notch, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be really good. So again, there you go.
Oh, I have a little story. We don't have any foam left on these glasses anymore, but when my mom was a little girl, growing up in Chicago, her dad and his buddy would be sitting on the back porch, and they would give her a bucket to go down to the corner tavern and fill it up with beer. Well, she would carry it home, and by the time she got home, all the foam was gone. And she just looked at her dad and said, she never said a word. She didn't know what happened to it. She knew what happened to it. It just looked so good.
Yeah. Well, what happened, and that is a drawback, and I will share that with you, is depending on what domestic beer you use or what beer you use, when you add something like a Midori, it will flatten it quite quickly.
Oh, okay.
As you can see here, it did go flat quite quickly.
Yeah.
But some beers have more CO2 in them than, like for instance, if you use a Corona, which is really unusual, but if you use a Corona beer, it'll actually froth the opposite way and it'll overflow. So, depending on, light beers are good. I brought this one here, I brought the natural light. It's fairly, simple Pilsner beer.
Yeah.
But you can use any light beer you can use if you want to make green beer.
Oh, I say go for the big calories if you're going to do it.
Yeah, I think so.
Do it right.
Yeah.
Forget the light beer.
Yeah, and again, if you want to make green beer but keep the alcohol content down, buy the food coloring, and then that won't change the taste of your beer at all. Not that
Okay.
much, I don't believe. What this does change the flavor profile.
Okay.
And so we've got we're going to pour out some whiskeys here. This is the Proper 12, and we'll get to sample some of that maybe after a while. And
Okay.
then, that's the apple, and then we've got the regular Proper 12. This is actually sponsored by a famous MMA wrestler. I can't remember his name.
Oh, God, my husband would probably know.
Yeah, he's Irish.
It's not Colin McGregor?
Colin, it could be McGregor. Yeah, is that who it is, McGregor?
I think so.
I think you're.
He's back there.
I think you're right. It is.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. There you go.
Thank you, Aiden.
So, this is actually McGregor's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, kind of like Sammy Hagar does
Yeah.
tequila.
Well, we have so many celebrity.
Everybody's jumped in on it.
Yeah. Depending, and we have bourbons and whiskeys and lots of celebrity sponsored. Tequila is big in sponsorship. Yeah, a lot of. We, of course, just continue to sponsor our own Macadoodle. You can't go wrong with Macadoodle vodka, right? So.
You know what? I like Macadoodles vodka.
Yeah, it's great.
It's pretty good.
We actually distill this in Oklahoma.
Even better, right here.
You can't go wrong, yeah.
No.
Everybody should have one of these. If you don't
Yes,
have
they
Macadoodle
should.
vodka on your shelf, shame on you.
And it's very well priced.
Yeah, it is. Half a gallon is under 12.
Like $11?
Yeah, $11, something like that. We keep the price down, right?
I know it well.
Yeah, but it's actually distilled in Tuttle, Oklahoma.
Tuttle, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So we'll taste those later on. Baileys, of course, we've talked about. This didn't want to crack these open necessarily because,
Not unless we're going to pay for it.
well, yeah, the problem is we're not a bar, so if you crack them, we can't do anything with them. That's what we say is crack, you know.
Yeah,
But what we're going to do is we have a tasting bar. For those people who've been to our stores before, there is a tasting bar. We have one in the wine room. And then in the main store, there's a tasting bar, and that will be open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and probably Sunday. And a lot of these will be on the tasting bar.
did you hear that, Terry?
So if you want to get down there and get your bourbon, Terry, you can go to the tasting bar and ask for Steve. I'm going to run all these by Steve, and he'll be available to let you taste them. I know, sure. Yeah.
Well, I know the last time you were on, we talked about basic stocking a bar, you know, what bourbons. And
Yeah.
there were 3 or 4 of them. I think Larceny was one of them.
Larceny was one of them. I can't remember exactly what the other ones was. You know, you should always have a Jack Daniels and
Yeah.
a good old standby, right? And if you're like Irish, you know, you can always just have, you know, a Jameson on hand. Everybody should probably have Baileys somewhere. It does last
Whether
forever.
it's chocolate Baileys or...
There's so many different flavors now. There's mint and all kinds of stuff. You know, if you're buying schnapps, you know, there's apple and there's melon. There's different flavors and so on and so forth.
But if you go up to Wisconsin, it's going to be peppermint schnapps.
Peppermint schnapps, which
You
we
know,
have
they go
too.
out for...
Yeah, these are always good to have as well. Even though fresh limes are always the best, always try to have one of these in your refrigerator. It's great, you know, and you can control the amount you put in there. So this is always a good bar item to have as well. So always have a cream on hand. Always have a top shelf as well if you like it. And if you're a Scotch drinker, I'd encourage you to try a top end Irish. You'll find it to be very agreeable. You know, and I will say, off the top of my head, I do believe the price point on these is actually lower on something like this than it would be a high-end Scotch.
Really?
Yeah. So, yeah, again, this, I'm going to be honest and really frank about it, it's not cheap,
Okay.
but it's, as they say, to die for.
Okay.
So,
And then-
if you...
Oh, go on.
If you want to try, actually, it does come in a small bottle too, I believe.
Okay.
But this is just, it's just fantastic.
Really good.
It's just really, really good. Yeah.
And then Uncle Nearest. Do you...
Uncle Nearest, yeah, it's part of the Jack Daniel family,
Yes.
right? Yeah, we have
Yes.
Uncle Nearest. I think there's 3 different SKUs in Uncle Nearest. So yeah, I think it's in the store.
Well, it's an interesting story because Uncle Nearest was one of the slaves, and he was making his own moonshine. And I guess Jack went down there and really liked it, so he was invited up to the big house. Now, I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what I've heard.
So, you don't know.
And then his family got to come up and
Yeah.
have better quarters and
Yeah.
help out in the house.
This reminds me also ginger beer. So you know, to make this particular cocktail and other cocktails, it's always good for those people who like ginger beer. This is non-alcoholic ginger beer, obviously. Gosling's is one of the best brands out there. It's really high quality.
Okay.
Now, if you get one of these larger ones, they don't last too long, so you can often get the smaller ones as well.
Okay.
But if you want to try these, then don't forget, you need some ginger beer as well.
Okay, well, that's going to do it for us. I want to thank you for coming out again and sharing all of this with us. And remember, we are nonprofit. We are always looking for volunteers and donations. We are all volunteer, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next month. Bye.
Bye.